This is a warning to anyone who's on their glow up journey in the process of creating your dream life or wanting to shift your current reality. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Your new life is quite literally going to cost your old one. What is good, you guys? It's Kay and welcome back to another video. Let this channel serve as a safe space for you to cultivate deeper self-love, self-confidence, and trust within yourself, and also to level up in every single way. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back, girl. Let's chit chat, let's talk, let's get into it. Today we are going to be talking all about the secret cost to your glow up. This term glow up gets thrown around a lot, and I know it's glamorized a lot of the time, but there is a very secret and very great distinct cost to each glow up journey that you see. Okay, every person that you see that has gone on this journey has experienced this in one way, shape, or form, and I feel like today's the day that we need to get into it. We need to talk about it, and we need to be honest about what that cost is so that you know what you're walking into. If you enjoy videos like these and you want to stay a part of the community, definitely feel free to go ahead and subscribe down below, leave a like, leave a comment, show some love, girl, and let's jump into today's video. I almost forgot, but girl, grab you a drink, grab you something cute, grab you something to sip on. Today we're drinking on some champagne because we're celebrating this period of our lives that's gonna feel terrible, but we're gonna cheers to it anyway. I know that this is such a big pill to swallow. I have been trying to swallow this pill for a long time and just wrap my head around it. And you know what? If I'm honest, I thought that I could outrun this phase of my glow up journey. I thought that I could get away scot-free and just not have to deal with it. I have heard this so many times, and you know what? I'm starting to realize that it's genuinely the truth. I genuinely feel like the sooner that you realize that this is just a part of the process, it's gonna feel terrible, it's gonna feel weird and sad, and you're going to have to grieve your old life, like the sooner you'll be able to take that next step forward and honestly stop being afraid of your own success. Before we even get into how we're gonna cope with this season and how we're gonna push through this phase and truly use it to our greater good, we need to talk about the why. You cannot solve a problem with the same mind and the same reality that caused it. And that principle applies to your glow up. That principle applies to you creating your dream life. You cannot step into a new life still having and hanging on to the old version of who it is that you were. A lot of times, you can't even hang on to the same friendships, relationships, environments, maybe even the place that you stay. Everything must go. Burn it all down. I have a smile on my face now because it's honestly the irony for me. Like, as I'm going through this and as it's happening to me, I have shed so many tears. I have just been in disbelief of like how true this is, but I cannot stress enough that this is essential to your glow up, and it is something that everyone must go through if they're wanting to elevate to a higher stage and a higher state of being. The first thing that I want you to understand about this is that you are not alone. Again, I truly believe that anyone that has had any sort of success in life or have transcended their circumstances has to go through this pruning process, has to go through this process of quite literally letting the old self go in every way, shape, and form, and anything that's attached to that old version, being able to kind of just detach from it. So you're not alone. If you're going through this phase, it could look like a major breakup, it could look like losing a job, losing even a loved one, and above all, it probably feels like your entire life is just falling apart as you know it. And you're not alone. You're not alone in that. It's just a part of the process, and that is the first thing that you have to understand, because I know that sometimes, especially when you're going through this season of pruning and shedding, it can feel very isolating. It can feel very just lonely, and it can feel like you're the only one that's going through it, especially in the world of social media where we're seeing everyone's highlight reels play and we're seeing everyone's lives look so great and not knowing any context. But it can genuinely feel like you're the only one going through this terrible period and this awkward phase of your journey. Today, we're going to get into the details of how you're going to be able to alchemize this energy that you're experiencing, turn it into your highest good, and truly use it to catapult and elevate your glow up in the most insane way possible, in the way that it is intended for you to. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it now. the first thing to keep in mind is that you are going to need to shift your mindset during this time period. It can be such a slippery slope when all these seemingly negative things are going on in your life and you're just like, oh my goodness, my life's falling apart. Let me just add to the madness because it can't get any worse than here. No. You do not need to have that mindset in this time period and make matters worse by practicing just bad habits, maybe self-sabotaging, doing abusive acts for yourself, whether it's drinking or using drugs. Like, this is not the time to just be in a woe is me state. You do not need to succumb to the negativity that you're feeling or the pressure that you're feeling in your life right now. You need to rise above it, and you're going to do that by shifting your mindset. So instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? I'm so confused. I don't know why things like this always happen to me. Instead, you can think, what is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson in this? What am I meant to learn from this circumstance happening? Instead of thinking, why can't I seem to catch a break? You could think, what if this is my big break? What if this breakdown is meant to be my breakthrough? Instead of thinking, why am I not where I want to be in life? I expected to be in a completely different space than I am right now. You could think, everything is happening in my life at the perfect timing and in the perfect way for me. These simple mindset shifts will truly be able to help you to turn all of this pain, turn all of this negative seemingly energy into something that is so powerful, so positive, and so life-changing, which is what it's truly meant to be. And I keep doing these quotations around negative because at the end of the day, like, everything is not what it seems. A lot of times we perceive situations as negative at first because they sting, they're not what we expected, or they're just like not what we thought was going to happen. But I feel like a lot of times those seemingly negative situations or circumstances tend to turn out for our good. Everything is working for our good at all times, and that's something that you want to keep reminding yourself of as well during this. The next thing you want to do to be able to alchemize this energy, truly shift and allow it to catapult you in the direction of your highest timeline, in the direction of your highest version, is to start celebrating your new reality in advance. Grab you a glass of champagne and cheers to that, because whatever you're going through right now, guess what? It is building you up to your greatest life, to the most insanely good experiences, meeting the most beautiful people, and I truly firmly believe that. So when you feel like your life is crashing around you, now is the perfect time to start celebrating the reality that you're calling in. I think this is the most powerful technique to be able to transform your life, is when you are celebrating and joyous and in a happy state in advance. And I really feel like this is something that you have to give yourself permission to do. You are allowed to be excited and be happy before the circumstances line up with what you're seeing in the current reality. Reality is on a lag, okay? Everything that you're wanting, everything that you're seeing for yourself, all the visions that you have for yourself are perfectly given to you for a reason. All of our visions and dreams and goals and aspirations are very and sometimes acutely different. They might seem like they're the same. For example, if you want to do content, maybe you want to be a YouTuber, maybe you want to do just short form content, and you might be like, oh my gosh, it is so saturated, everybody's doing it. But what I want you to understand is that nobody is going to do content in the same way, because everybody is acutely different, and everyone's end goal, everyone's end vision in mind is so different. And the cool thing about it is all these visions intertwine with one another and they complement each other in ways that we can't even imagine. But that's why, and that's where faith and trust come in. I'm going off on a tangent, but I just had to throw that in there. Start giving yourself permission to celebrate the life that you are creating in advance. A lot of times we wait for the next thing to give ourselves permission to be happy. Oh, I'll be happy when I lose 10 pounds. I'll be happy when I have $10,000 in my bank account. I'll be happy when I can do content full time. I'll be happy when I have met the love of my life and he's just perfect and absolutely everything that I'm looking for. You need to start being happy right now. You need to start giving yourself permission to feel joy, to feel love, to feel excited, like genuinely excited for what it is that you are seeing that's going to be happening in your life. Because the moment that you set that intention, the moment that you say, hey, I'm going to go on this glow up journey. I'm going to become a different version of myself. I want X, Y, and Z. When by the time I'm 30, I want to be doing X, Y, and Z, or I just want X, Y, and Z for my life. By the time you set those intentions and by the time you define those desires, they are already yours. Your only job now is matching up to that frequency that your higher self is already at. Okay? So that's what we're doing. We are celebrating as if it is already done, because truthfully it is. It just, again, has not shown up in your reality. Reality is on a lag. Everything that you want is already created. Now it's just time for you to catch up to that reality and to match up with that frequency that's going to allow it to become a reality in your physical life. Okay, let's move on because I could stay there all day long. But the next one is becoming obsessed with your self-care. I know the word obsession is typically deemed as a bad word a lot of times. Like, it's typically found to be something that's just associated with negative things to be obsessive over, but obsession is truly a gift that we all have, and when used for the right reasons, it can genuinely be what propels you to your greatest life that you've ever imagined. Become obsessed with your self-care. Use this energy that you're feeling and put it somewhere. I think sometimes we go through a difficult situation or circumstance, and yes, obviously, please grieve through it, feel those emotions fully, because that is truly how you're going to be able to heal. This is not a conversation of suppressing those emotions that are happening. This is not a conversation of pseudo positivity or just being positive through it. No, take the time to grieve through it, take the time to feel through it, but also find places to place your energy. And I can't think of a better place to put your energy than into your self-care, especially when you're going through a very hard time in your life and you feel like everything else is falling apart. The one thing you can control in this life is you. It's pretty much the only thing that we can control in our lives is how we feel, how we react to things, how we're pouring into ourselves. So while everything else externally seems to be out of your control, start to take the reins in a little bit. Start to be like, you know what? Okay, cool. There's things going on in my life. Can't control them. Is what it is. But I'm going to take the necessary steps to pour into myself mentally, spiritually, physically, in every single way possible. You have probably heard me talk so much already about how to pour into yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. If you want a full video, I will link my last video up there. I talked about it a little bit more in depth there, but I feel like for the majority, we already know what ways we like to pour into ourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically. So whatever those ways are, do so. But my point is, do it at an obsessive level. Like, strive to do it in the most insane ways. Like, every little juicy detail, pour into yourself, show yourself love, show yourself the love that you're expecting to see or want to feel from other people or from this life. And let me remind you that the glow up genuinely starts from within. I know we see the glamour of it, we see the results, we see the girls living their best lives, we see them getting treated like queens, like the queens they are. But I want you to know that every single glow up that you see, every single beautiful existence and experience that you see has started from within. So focusing on that and becoming obsessed with it will literally start to yield the results that you want. And honestly, you're not even doing it to yield results. You're doing it so that you feel good and so that you're knowing that you're loved and you're showing yourself that love that you have to give. But in turn, just by default, it will grant you the results that you're looking for externally, because that glow that you're pouring into yourself will just start to exude from you and everyone will be able to see it. I feel like the other side of this is also romanticizing every little thing. I know that sometimes we're like, oh, self-care isn't just bubble baths and face masks. Okay, but sometimes it is. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it is just the little things. Like, even just grabbing a flute and pouring you up some champagne. Last night, I literally just drank water from a wine glass. Like, literally romanticize the smallest little things in your life. Any little thing, because at the end of the day, there is always so much more to be grateful for than there is to feel anything less than gratitude about. Okay, If you are breathing, if you are listening to this video, if you have the internet, if you have the ability, if you have the mobile device, if you have the laptop, if you are breathing and living another beautiful day, you have so much to be grateful for. And the moment that you start romanticizing every little bit of your life, the more that you will get and receive to be able to romanticize. That's just how it works. It's just how it works. I don't make the rules. So start romanticizing your life. Become obsessed with your self-care. I can't stress it enough. Become obsessed with your self-care. Romanticize every little piece of your life and watch this period start to become so much more clear to you. Like, oh my gosh, I see why I had to get removed from that workspace or that job. I see why I had to get out of that relationship. I see why I had to level up my friend group. Okay, so start romanticizing your life and watch the magic happen. The next thing you want to do is change your environment. I think I talk about this a lot too, but it's just so important. I just came back from a solo trip to Miami. It was so much fun. I have the vlog coming for you guys too, so stay tuned for that. But I genuinely had the best time. It was such a good change of environment. I can't stress enough how much changing your environment truly does change your entire perspective. It changes your life in so many ways. If it were me, I'd go ahead and book that solo trip or book, a trip somewhere that you've been or never been, somewhere that just brings you some peace. But I understand that not everybody is in the position to do that, to physically change your environment. So if you're not in the position to physically change your environment right now, whether it be get a new apartment, go to a new state, like try something new, go on a solo trip, you still have ways that you can change your environment as well. And I also think this plays into changing your environment, changing up your look, your vibe, something new about you. Like let it feel new, funky, fresh, like a fresh new start and a new beginning. So maybe you do book the solo trip, or maybe you book a staycation in your city. Maybe you just simply change your wallpaper on your walls in your bedroom, or maybe you change your bedding out. You get new pillows, you get new bedding. Maybe you buy new kitchen, little accessories or something that makes your environment feel different. So that kind of is what I mean by like change your environment, change it up, make sure that there is something different in your environment of some sort so that things feel just different. Things feel like they've changed. Again, when it comes to your appearance, you can try a new hairstyle, you can do a new outfit type, you can try a new perfume that makes you feel so good. So like try to change up your personal environment as well, like the environment that is you. Try a different hairstyle, try maybe get some color in here, I don't know, but try something new to make yourself feel that newness. It could also be something that's super local to you, just changing up your environment on a day-to-day. Maybe you try some new hobbies, maybe you go to that rooftop bar you've been wanting to go to and try, maybe you go to a dance class, maybe you go try some pottery. Do something new, do something that you've never done, and I promise you it will make you feel so much better and also help you to connect a little bit deeper into yourself and start to understand what you like, don't like, and truly enjoy just out of life. And the final thing is to commit to your rebrand. This is the time where you're going to want to commit to your rebrand. You're going to want to commit to elevating and growing and leveling up your life, because that is what life is pushing you to do. That is what you are being guided to do, is to commit to your new life. And I feel like a really good way to do this is, number one, by taking your goals, which to me, your goals are just the reality of your future self. So you want to take your future self off of a pedestal. You want to take that future version of yourself and you want to try to embody her on a daily basis, so that you're essentially merging the two realities. You're starting to operate as that higher version. You're really getting clear on what her day-to-day looks like, and you're actually operating and starting to act out of that version of yourself. So when I say commit to your rebrand, this is what I'm talking about. Not just writing and making a plan. Yes, you have to make a plan. Please plan it out, jot it down, make sure you got it intact and what you want is clear. But at the end of the day, you have to start embodying that version of you, because it really does, she really does already exist. And she's actually just waiting for you to realize, hey, I'm already here and I'm waiting on you, girl. You waiting on her, but she's waiting on you. Exactly. Take her off of a pedestal. Stop looking at her like she's your next 10 years and be like, well, she could actually be my today. She could actually, in some aspects, in a lot of ways, she could be my today. A good like technique to do this, if you've never done like a higher self journaling prompt or like a higher self journaling session, this is a great way, because you can essentially write a day in your dream life as if it's in the present. And then once you actually do that, you will start to see that there are so many things that are in your dream day that you can actually start to incorporate in your life as soon as tomorrow. Like, you can start to do a lot of the things that you would be doing if you were to be in your dream life. Like, you can start to do those now. So really just kind of starting to think in terms of merging those two realities, the present and the future, to really step into this rebrand and truly commit to it. Another thing is speaking life into yourself and your capabilities. I know when you're going through something negative, it can be so easy to slip into negative self-talk, so easy to slip into self-blame, so easy to start to just feel so sorry for yourself. But the way that you overcome this is speaking life into yourself and speaking through these things, not just thinking through them, but speaking through them out loud and starting to speak into yourself. Hey, you know what? This is going to be used for my greater good. I know that at the end of this is so much good and so much greatness. I know that what I'm going through is only going to be a testimony in my story. Like, genuinely starting to speak to the things and speak into yourself positively to catapult yourself into this new reality, into this rebrand. Like, this is what I'm saying when I'm saying commit to your rebrand. You have to be so committed that not even your negative thoughts can get in the way, okay? Not even your self-limiting beliefs can stop this glow up. And then honestly, just showing up, especially when you don't feel like it, especially when you would rather not do anything and you just rather rot in bed all day. Show up, show up, show up, and just show up for yourself. It could look like little baby tiny steps at first, and then just kind of roll and snowball into something different, into more. But just start showing up for yourself. Like, literally doing the things that you're saying that you're going to do. Show up for yourself, especially when you don't feel like it, and really commit to this new version of the life that you're creating. This is the cost of a glow up that nobody talks about, nobody sees. It's very personal. It's something that you will only know that you're going through, but it's so true that you will have to let go of your old life in order to step into your new one. And I hope that this video helped you to be able to feel more prepared, more excited, and more ready to celebrate through this process. If you do enjoy videos like these, definitely go ahead and subscribe down below, leave a like, leave a comment, show some love. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.